Can I do it?
People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes, something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring the soul back to put things that have been done wrong to right. But things can never be right. Not until we are reunited.
Listen, I am pretty sure half of our Gen X audience is excited for this damn movie. But guys, welcome to a brand new episode of The Buttery Show. I'm Leo, aka The Crow LA, representing LA everywhere. This is Mike, aka The Crow Ukraine, representing everyone from the Ukraine. And we are the Crow Society. And in honor of the 30th anniversary and the movie that's coming out at some point in 2024. I don't know.
Probably in April. It's not clear the exact it's not exactly clear when it's going to be but it's definitely this year.
Okay, well, in honor of the remake coming out at some point this year, as well as the 30th anniversary, we are reviewing not just this movie, The Crow. We're also reviewing Crow City of Angels, Crow Salvation, and Crow Wicked Prayer. Oh, God. Yeah. So we're starting off right by reviewing the best movie of this debauchery that happens and the bastardization of this movie because of the damn sequels. Anyways, I just gotta say this right now, people. I am pretty sure half of us who are in our late 20s now, who did go to high school during the early 2010s, late 2000s, early 2010s, we all went through an emo phase. And because we went through the emo phase, we all watched The Crow. And I gotta be honest. The movie still holds up to this day.
Yeah,
I freaking love this movie.
Oh yeah. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting the series to come back to my life so quickly and to the degree it has, because what's it called? Because like for Halloween, I figured, I'm gonna do I did not have any concrete plans for Halloween. So I'm like, you know what? I got extra black and white makeup left. So I decided to dress up as the Crow, and TLDR, I almost became the Crow a little too literally.
Was this during round one of COVID?
Yes.
Oh
wait,
okay.
No. This is from earlier this year.
Oh, okay. Because I could have. Oh no, you went as Kiss.
I went as Star Child. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No. I'm talking about this Halloween. Okay, I went to dress up as the Crow, and then I almost became the Crow a little too literal. I'm not gonna go to the detail. It's not funny, dude. It's like
I know. I mean, look, it's not funny. But but how you addressed it was a little comical. What happened wasn't funny, but still.
No. What happened wasn't funny, but it's crazy. And then I'm glad
you're okay.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad to be okay. And I did not expect that a week later, I'd be signing NDAs for something that I'm not going to. Well, DA, but it's related to the series, so. So it's given how much The Crow has influenced my childhood and how much it seems to be circulating back onto me, I figured we should do a Crow month, and I think there's no better way to start off the year 2024 than to paint it black.
In the sweater. Yeah. Yes, but anyways, so. I'm just going to do the quick synopsis. So, guys, The Crow is a 1994 supernatural superhero film. Yes, this movie is based off the comic book, okay?
By James O'Barr.
I never read it, so we're going in with with open eyes if you've never read it. Anyways,
2 out of the original 4 comics. I know there's more than 4, but originally it got canceled after 4 issues, but then like it got renewed for more. Obar wanted to write a 5th issue that concluded the series, but it got canceled because they're like, oh no, we're not going to do just 1 issue. Like, we're going to continue the series.
Yeah.
But it's actually very interesting, like the origins of like his decision to make the series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so The Crow is a 1994 American superhero film directed by Alex Proyas, from a screenplay by David J. Shaw and John Shirley, based off the 1989 limited comic series of the same name by James O'Barr. The film stars Brandon Lee, rest in peace, in his final appearance as Eric Draven, a musician who was resurrected from the dead to seek vengeance against the gang who murdered him and his fiancée, all the while being pursued by a sympathetic police officer. And we'll talk about that police officer in a minute. But yeah, so this movie came, funny enough, if I remember correctly, and Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this movie was originally slated to come out in 1993, but because of what happened, they had to do reshoots, and it came out later in 1994.
Yeah, no, it's true, and you know, there's some irony to that because in Bruce Lee's final film, The Game of Death, it was originally supposed to have a completely different plot from the movie we ended up with, but because Bruce Lee passed away sadly midway through making the film, they basically delayed the film, shot new scenes with a stunt double, rewrote the entire plot while trying to use as much of the original Bruce Lee footage as possible.
Yep.
And we ended up with a completely new movie with a completely new plot, new character, new motivations. Still a revenge film, still fantastic film. But it is interesting how Brandon Lee kind of lived through the similar circumstances with this movie, and how this movie also went through the same, well, not as extensively as Game of Death has, but yeah, they had to do some reshoots to do like to like fill in the gaps, you know, insert some of that frog DNA into that piece of amber.
Oh Jesus. So anyways, should we just cover this whole movie from tooth and nail, or are we just gonna hop around? Because we can hop around.
I mean, generally we should do a bit of both. Like, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward revenge plot. I think, you know, you could even say so much as John Wick ran because the Crow crawled.
Yeah. You know what? I can low key. I kind of agree with you. Now, granted, obviously, you got to switch a few things around.
Right.
Real talk. I think Keanu Reeves should play. Keanu Reeves could have been Crow. I mean, look, if there was like a 1980s Crow movie, they could have cast like long hair, like surfer hair, Keanu Reeves. Because keep in mind, he didn't cut his hair until he was filming Speed. Like Point Break, he still had the long hair. Dracula, he had the long hair.
Yeah. Dracula was 93, right?
I just realized we never reviewed Bram Stoker's Dracula for Keanu Reeves month.
Like, to be fair, you were the one who said you didn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, because I wanted to do something different. Okay, never mind.
Like,
okay,
and I was thinking for Keanu month part 2, we would do Bram Stoker's Dracula and Johnny Mnemonic, which, by the way, is on Netflix right now. But no, it's like, because like back in the day, back in the 70s, you know, a lot of Bruce Lee's movies were revenge movies, and they were fantastic movies. And the thing I love about The Crow is that if you really think about it, this movie reinvented the revenge action genre, like specifically revenge films. Like, I think this reinvented it. I think like a lot of revenge films that came out after this had some inspiration from The Crow. And honestly, what I love about the Crow series, like both the comics and the movie, is that it helped a lot of people find their way through the late 80s and early 90s, because not just like in gothic culture, but just in general, just like societal angst sort of way, you know, like I would say like not a lot of there's always that one movie in every generation. I'm trying not to make a Conquest reference, where like it reinvents a genre and it helps a society like find itself in a certain way. Like, for example, the original Star Wars 1977, or The Crow 1994. Dare I say, Spider-Man in 2002.
I got you. Every decade there is a generational movie that's like a once in a lifetime film. Like you said, Star Wars was a generational film that really, really stood out from the 70s. Unless you were, obviously there was Rocky, there was The Network, there was the Godfather movies. But when you talk about a movie that defined a generation, Star Wars, a movie that defined the 80s, I will argue this.
Tron.
No, Breakfast Club. Breakfast
Yeah,
Club, in my
I can see that. I
think John Hughes in general redefined, like had the most defined movies of the 80s. Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink. Shit, even Home Alone, even though Home Alone was in 1990, but it was off the cusp with the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 90s, let's see, generational defining movies.
The Crow.
Name at least The Crow. I can also say The Crow, Goodfellas, Demolition Man, freaking LA Confidential, Titanic, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, Titanic. Yeah, definitely Titanic's definitely a late 80s defining. Yeah, I would say there's like 2 generation defining movies in every decade. And yeah, I would say Crow and Titanic would be that. Like, I'm not a fan of Titanic, don't get me wrong. It wouldn't even be in my top 50 most favorite movies of the 90s. But I'm not going to pretend it didn't have a lot of impact onto like the world as we know. The 2000s, we had Spider-Man and Avatar.
I would also argue
I know you want to say Iron Man.
No, I was gonna say Dark Knight. Yeah,
I can see that. I mean, they both came out in 2008, to be fair.
But we're going off a tangent. The Crow helped define and set a generational standard when it comes to a movie that shines on the decade it's based in is The Crow. I mean, from its soundtrack, from the gritty film, the gritty scenery, and the noir-esque style of the movie. It like I know a lot of people like to always say the phrase ahead of its time. But The Crow truly was ahead of its time. Again, it was a comic book movie that, again, I knew nothing about the comic book until like later on when I became a teenager, like when I was like 17, 18 years old, because I saw this movie when I was 10 years old. Okay. 7 years later, did not realize it was based off a comic book until the internet.
For me, my first exposure to The Crow was a TV show, because it's like I said before, back in the day, I'd be trapped in my grandparents' house over the weekend. There's no Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney Channel. And the only Fox Kids you get is like Saturday morning, and that's it. UPN, Sunday morning, that's it. That's all you got. Like, if in the afternoons, you're in no man's land. And like you just had to survive to like 5 to 7 p.m. And what I had was Xena, The Crow, Conquest, and if my parents are running late, ER with George Clooney. Like back when George Clooney was on the ER.
Hold on. So you didn't stick around and go on KTLA for that 5 o'clock movie on the weekends? It was like some watered down version of Leon the Professional. And
look,
all you
if I got
time for this Mickey Mouse bull squash.
If I was lucky, maybe I'd be there at 7 p.m. on Sunday when ABC would play Wonderful World of Disney, and like they would like do a TV edit of like a Disney movie. If I am lucky, but But Saturday afternoons and Sunday afternoons, again, no man's land. Like if it wasn't for Xena and Conquest, and I know how much you're not a fan of Conquest, but hear me out.
Whoa. I love Conquest. I just wish they did it season 2. Don't put words in my mouth, homie.
Okay. But if it wasn't for Xena and Conquest and The Crow, I'd be a brain dead little kid. I'm not gonna lie.
Y'all ass would just went outside, but that's a different story. Anyways,
I don't know what to go outside with. Remember, keep in mind, like I was not allowed to go outside on my own.
Oh yeah, I forgot this. See, my family, they're like, hey, listen, take one of your cousins, you can go outside and play. That was just me. That's how I grew up. So
yeah, keep in mind, one of my cousins, actually no, 2 of my cousins, still in Ukraine. The other cousin, too old to even hang out with me at all.
Oh my god. Anyways, so let's get to the revenge. Eric Draven's killed on Devil's Night, which is an actual night, people. If you're in Detroit, don't do anything stupid the night before Halloween. Eric Draven and his soon-to-be wife Shelly are killed on Devil's Night. 1 year later,
night before their wedding too.
Yes, and you're probably wondering, do people really get married on Halloween? Yes, you want to know why? Because it's cheap to get married on Halloween. It is actually cheap, but nowadays it isn't because
it became popular.
Exactly. Here, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the plot is very basic. Like you got Eric Draven played by Brandon Lee, and of course, like. And you know the 2 of them, he and Shelly, they took care of this little girl named Sarah, who, by the way, is one of the best characters in the franchise. And she is played by Rochelle Davis, who I am struggling to access the IMDb page for, but yeah, no, like she used to be taken care of by Eric and Shelly because her mom was a drug addict. And she was never around for her. And, you know, it's cool that, like, this young couple's, like, taking care of this kid because, like, they're under no obligation to. But at the same time, it's like, she needs positive role models. And I'm glad they were there for her. But, no, the movie starts off with them already dead. And the police are doing investigation. And, of course, Ernie Hudson plays a police officer, a beat officer, mind you. Who wants to investigate their murder. Of course, he and Sarah bond over their mutual grief for Eric and Shelly because one, Ernie Hudson's character is an officer who genuinely believes in justice and wants to stop whoever committed these murders. And while Shelly, while Sarah, she is, you know, she's effectively orphaned because, again, her mom's a drug addict, and the only 2 adults who cared about her previously, they're dead now. And of course, the officer, played by Ernie Hudson, Sergeant Daryl Albrecht. Albrecht, he is divorced, and his wife took the kids. So he's missing family. She's missing family. So honestly, a lot of the heart of this movie is the 2 of them bonding over their mutual grief. And honestly, like even if you took out the element of this supernatural zombie superhero trying to get revenge, like you could still make a really damn good movie just focusing on Sarah and Daryl, like trying to building bonds over their loss of family. Like they have the heart of the movie, and yeah, like I'm glad that I'm giving them a bit of attention because usually like they go off to the wayside. But the thing is, just like how a doctor needs a companion to anchor him to humanity, every crow needs a human character to anchor them to like sort of a moral compass and remind them that like just because you no longer have a beating heart and your hands are cold, it doesn't mean that you should reject your own humanity, that sort of thing. And you know, for a whole year, Albrecht has been investigating their murder while Sarah's just been grieving over the loss of Eric and Shelley. And then a year later, a crow shows up on their tombstone, and out of nowhere, our hero, Brandon Lee, playing the role of Eric Draven, the original Crow, rises from the dead. And what's really cool about Eric is he has a lot of supernatural powers as the Crow. And when you have like these different versions of the Crow, like they all have varying superpowers from one another. But generally, they have heightened reflexes, strength, a higher tolerance to pain. They have regenerative ability, but only if it's an enemy that inflicts the injury. Because even in the comics, if a wound is self-inflicting, the wound stays permanent. What's it called? But yeah, no. But if like some random other person like shoots him in the hand just like regenerates. He also has psychokinetic empath abilities where like when he touches the objects or the skin of another person, he recalls their memories and feelings. Like he could feel their pain, their memories, and everything. That's why like when he's reawakened and goes to the crime scene where he and Shelley were killed, he has all of her memories, including like the 30 hours she spent in the hospital before she finally died. And more importantly, he has the ability to communicate telepathically with the actual Crow, where it guides him spiritually to what he needs to do, as well as it can share its vision with him. So whatever the Crow sees, he sees. But also in various versions, if the Crow itself experiences injuries, he feels those same injuries as well. This is going to tie in more in the second film than it does here, even though it does happen. But yeah, and of course, like he puts on some face makeup to like show himself as like the spirit of vengeance. I'm not gonna lie,
no. You know what? No, you know what he becomes? The man, the myth, the icon, Sting.
But yeah, no. I think at this point we should talk about the culture surrounding the Crow before we continue with the plot. Yeah, so as we mentioned before, the Crow had a huge influence on society, so much so that the comics even influenced the Sting in his persona.
Oh my god!
And I'm gonna be honest, even back in the WCW era, the Sting was my favorite wrestler, and the only reason I started watching AEW recently, and by recently I mean a few years ago, was because they announced that Sting would be making a comeback. So I saw Sting. He teamed up with Darby Allin. They fought the Jungle Boys and whatnot, and like it was awesome. But
he didn't fight Jungle Boy. He fought Team Taz, which was Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Taz's son Hook. That's what made him come back. But yeah, but real quick, this was Sting. This was 80s and early 90s Sting. And like you said, next thing you know, after this movie came out, boom, he's the freaking Crow.
Yeah, and I love how he has the Sting crew where like they're all dressed up as the Sting, so like no one could tell which one's the real Sting. And one of my most favorite running gags was how he would wear a Sting mask over his actual face.
And then take it off.
And he takes it off. It's like, oh, it's Sting in a Sting mask. and it's like the perfect disguise, because it's like no one would expect you to disguise yourself as yourself. It's like you could always like open up the Creeper's face to find Old Man Jenkins, but the thing is, you wouldn't expect Old Man Jenkins to disguise himself as Old Man Jenkins. So even when we were doing those like wrestler masks from Mattel toy line, like they had like wrestler masks, I put 2 Sting masks over my face so I could like videotape myself going like Sting in a Sting mask. And also the fact that this whole Sting army, I think it's also influenced by the Crow, because as O'Barr stated, the Crow is not a singular person. Eric Draven is not the Crow. I mean, rather, the Crow's not Eric Draven. Eric Draven is the Crow, meaning anyone else could be the Crow. It's a generational thing, and there are like rules to when a person can become a Crow. Mainly, they have to die close to someone that they love, and they both have to have died from a tragedy.
So people don't be getting any stupid ideas. Be like, oh, I can be the Crow. No.
But more importantly, I don't want people going like Tommy Thayer's the fake spaceman or Eric Singer's the fake Catman. No, they're all real. Like don't be saying like, oh, Ash Corvin is not the real Crow, or Alex Corvus is not the real Crow, or Jimmy Cuervo's not the real Crow, because no, all of them are the real Crow, just like how Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne were all the real Robins.
You forgot Kathy Kelly. I mean,
yeah. No, but like those are the ones off the top of my head because their costumes are the most similar to each other.
I got you. I got one better. That's like Peter Parker's not just Spider-Man. Miles Morales is not just Spider-Man. Gwen Stacy's not just Spider-Man. Ben Reilly's not just Spider-Man. Miguel O'Hara's not just Spider-Man. Peter B. Parker's not just Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's not just Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield's
we're all Spartacus.
We are all Spider-Man. Yeah, we are all Spartacus. And I think, and honestly, I will give Jason O'Barr this. I don't know if he was influenced by Spartacus, Spider-Man, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, or all three of the above. But I like the analogy of everyone is the Crow at some point. Everyone has, at some point has had to face a tragedy and stuff like that and overcome that.
Yeah, I mean that is part of the mythology because like how like the actual because just like how Sarah narrates the opening line to every Crow movie. You know, that the Crow carries the souls to the land of the dead, but sometimes something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul cannot rest. And then sometimes, just sometimes, the Crow sends the soul back to right the wrongs and set them right. So that means that Eric was probably not the first Crow, nor would he be the last. Like it's part of the mythos, and I'm glad that it's carried with like the Crow franchise because again, Brandon much like Doctor Who, it's a great way to have different actors play the same superhero by not being the same character per se, while still having the same superpower, same universe and whatnot. Because again, it's like. You can't have like let's say Eddie Furlong become the Crow and be like, he's not the real Eric Draven. You're right, he's not the real Eric Draven because he's not Eric Draven. He's Jimmy Cuervo, but they are both the real Crow.
Hold up, did you say Eddie Furlong?
Yeah, Eddie Furlong played Jimmy Cuervo.
Was that in Crow Wicked Prayer?
Yeah, that's the fourth.
Yes, it was.
Which, by the way, kind of works that I'm wearing a Kiss shirt because he was in Detroit Rock City.
Hold on. I have one question for you. Did you or did you not watch The Crow Wicked Prayer? Or are you guys going to this movie with new eyes?
Okay. It's like this. Wicked Prayer is the only one of the 5 films that I haven't seen yet.
We gonna have a good listen. Oh my audio. Oh snap. Anyway, we're gonna have a good time. I will come to your house and watch The Crow Wicked Prayer because I'm gonna say it's like this. I'm glad we watched Genesis together. I am glad we watched Halloween.
Okay. I'll say this. My one lament from the past 4 years is that I wasn't there with you when you watched Transformers 4 because I wanted to see you watch Transformers 4. The one thing I hated is that you watched it without me. Because don't get me wrong, I hated that movie. I still hate that movie. I never want to see that movie again. But I was willing to take that L if I get to watch you take that L with me. But no, you took that L in solemnity, and that upset me. But I was able to beat your challenge of summarizing the longest Transformers movie in 20 minutes, which, by the way, was 12 minutes and 35 seconds, 5 of which spent on just one scene, mind you.
Freaking God. All right. We're getting off on a tangent, so we got to get back to the Crow. Anyways, so we introduced the villains, right? Top Dollar and his...
we're introduced to his minions.
Chick. Yeah,
we're introduced to his minions first. Like, so you got what's his name? T-Bird, Fun Boy. This dude and
Tintin. You put respect on Tintin, dog.
Yeah, I remember there was a Tintin. I just can't remember which one of them was Tintin because they get so little screen time that it's like, well, most of them get so little screen time, but one of my most favorites is the pawn shop owner.
Oh, you mean the pedo? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's because that entrance that Eric makes in that scene was so perfect because because he's citing Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes. Oh, I love, and then he stabs his hand, grabs his engagement ring to Shelly, sees her memories, and then says one of the dopest lines ever. You tell each and every one of them that death is coming for them tonight. Tell them Eric Draven sends his regards.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight. Anyway, he puts all of the rings into the shotgun. In the most unrealistic 90s thing ever, the shell shoots all of the rings into the pawn shop, which already is leaking gasoline, and blows it up.
Is that gas I smell?
No. You got to say a little more with Riz. Is that gasoline? Is that gasoline I smell?
No, you know what's funny to me is how when Spider-Man or Wolverine or Deadpool make like these one-liners, like it's supposed to be goofy because it's a superhero movie. At the time, superhero movies were supposed to be goofy.
Yeah.
And in the case of Spider-Man, he's supposed to be goofing around. Like, it's a way of not only taking the edge off, but also kind of intimidate the villains in a way where it's like, oh, this tiny guy is kicking my ass, and he's cracking jokes while he's at it. It's like
he's whooping my ass.
Yeah. It's like
it's making fun of me.
It's insult to injury, literally. But when Eric does it, it's hilarious in a not goofy way because it's like he's taking his own death in strike. It's like he's supposed to be this morbid and vengeful being. Imagine if Batman every once in a while cracks a joke. And I don't mean the Joel Schumacher version. I mean imagine if freaking Ben Affleck Batman was cracking jokes every now and then before he defeats an opponent.
Oh my God! Don't do that! Don't do that to me.
And I just love his facial expression when he does it. And of course, one of his first fight scenes is with this dude where he's Tintin's throwing all these knives, and it's I never miss. It's whoops, you missed.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it's first one misses, second deflects, third one. It's my turn.
Catches that shit.
Yeah. That was a fun watch. And meanwhile, yes, the sergeant is investigating all of these.
It's not just a sergeant. It's not just a sergeant. It is one of the greatest Black actors of a generation. Ernie Hudson. Let me tell y'all something. Ernie Hudson, God bless this man. He's still with us. This man is a true black all-star. Okay, he a black all-star, people. You give this man some flowers. And let me tell you, look. Congo's coming, people. And you know what? I'll make a declaration, Mike. Black History Month for Buttery Show and Scruckle Gaming. Scruckle Retrospective Reviews coming back for Black History Month. And the first movie we're going to be reviewing is Congo, baby. Congo. Let's go. I love Congo. In case y'all look, you guys y'all don't see the Kool-Aid smile on my face right now. I love Congo. It's a stupid movie, but it's so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first Ernie Hudson movie that we did because he was in a certain other movie that we will not say the name of.
Wait, which one?
It's the one that you like to pretend doesn't exist.
Oh no!
The one where the Taiwanese version is better.
No! Shut up! Stop! God! Oh God! How much, Ernie? How much did they pay you? How much did they pay you for that role, man?
I think I could say on his behalf, clearly not enough.
Oh God. Here, I gotta do it. Hold up.
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
Yeah.
God, I hate that movie.
But he wasn't in the two Ghostbusters movies, so.
And Ghostbusters 3 Afterlife. And yes, Afterlife is the third one. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate the all-girls Ghostbusters a lot, as much as a lot of people do.
Oh, he was in that one, too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But I love Afterlife, and I can't wait for the new Ghostbusters movie that comes out in March. I'm excited.
He will be there. He will be there.
We're all dressed up as Ghostbusters, right? I got Winston. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I got Winston. Okay.
As long as I get to be Eduardo.
Oh my god. Anyways, so
hey, Extreme is Ken.
Okay, so Draven, and obviously Draven comes to Ernie Hudson's house and tells him smoking's gonna kill you. You probably need to stop. And it's like, yo, what happened with us? I like because my memory's still very, very cloudy. And he's like, look, you died. You were gone. Shelly was still clinging to life. She had a chance. She had a 25% chance of living. Depending because of how messed up she got, how messed up they attacked her. So he goes into Ernie Hudson's mind, sees, and is like, "You were with her the entire time." Like, yes, dude. Like, dude, like it was bad. I needed to be there. Morally, I had to be there. And then he's like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna jump out my window again?" Like, no, I want to use your front door. I'm not gonna lie, every time I hear that line, and I see that scene alone makes me tear up each and every time. Mm-hmm. And then he proceeds to kill T-Bird's punk ass right after killing, because he would go see Ernie Hudson after killing Fun Boy, and then proceed to kill T-Bird's punk ass in the greatest way possible. Grenades, detonators, all in one car, blow that be the sky high. Throw the gasoline on the floor, make the crow symbol, which every emo kid wanted to do at some point, and
Daredevil,
and then walk away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we get to, and then Shelly, not Shelly, not Darla, no, Sarah. Sarah goes to Draven's house. And he confronts her and tries to confront him, be like, yo, I thought you died. I mean, you saved me in the streets. You got, please be here. And it's like, you don't care. And he's like, I do care, Sarah. And you see him come in, and it's a great moment. Skank snorting that crank, telling Top Dollar that Draven looked like some 2-bit whore. Candyman's like, yo, he's gonna come for him. We keep him here. We'll take him out there.
Yeah, and yeah, and also like whenever like he honestly, the pawn shop dude, like the scene where Top Dollar kills him is kind of funny because it's like he has like a freaking rapier. Like he throws a rapier. Like
oh man,
he freaking throws the rapier at his neck. It's like you know like it's like when like you get stabbed in the neck, you basically only have like 30 seconds to live at that point. But it's like and then he's like and Top Dollar's like still too impatient to wait 30 seconds. It's like you're still alive. God damn it.
Can't even. Tony Todd just gives him the gun. He's like, give me the gun. Go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of funny how like it's like you can't have a good hero without a villain that has like a certain je ne sais quoi to engage you. Like someone that's like really hateable, but in a way where it's like, oh, this is delightful. Can't wait to see you die, though. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's like evil, but then there's delightfully evil. The one thing I'm not a big fan of is how it's like Eric is pretty much the only supernatural element in the movie. Like I was really hoping that Top Dollar or more so Micah would have like also some kind of supernatural element to them, because like Micah is always talking about it's like I'm sensing dark forces or whatever. Like she's like one of those like B women from the second half of Conquest, but like but it's like not much is done with that, and I feel like at that point we may as well just address them. Okay, they're siblings, but let's just say while their town looks like Detroit, you can't help but hear some bluegrass in the background. Make wheels keep on rolling. We can't go guitar player. Now he's back from the dead.
Here's the thing, though, is that they're supposed to be siblings, but last time I checked, Mike is Asian. Top Dollar's white.
So,
step brother, I need your help. I'm lost.
Look, I will say this: like, you can have interracial parents, and like you could have siblings that where like one kid has more ethnic phenotypes of one parent, and the other has the ethnic phenotypes of the other parent. I mean, just look at the Pucci twins from Stone Ocean. But
hold up, one more time. Step brother, I need your help. Step brother,
but like if they were just lovers, like okay, I could see why she's always playing around with him. But then the moment they address that they're siblings, I'm like, oh god. like you've never seen the Honest trailer for Lion King? It's like
yeah,
it's like wait, if Scar's the only other male lion on the pride, that means, and then Simba like turns his head away. It's like, oh no. that was my reaction like when I first saw this movie. It's like they're siblings. Oh no.
Oh dear God, no.
But yeah. Lord,
I'm coming home to you.
We killed a rock star. Dun, 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 dun. Now he's back from the dead. Dun, 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 dun. And he is followed by a blackbird. Dun, 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 dun. I don't feel very free. Dun, 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 dun. Sweet home, Eric Draven. He will come us on Devil's Night. Sweet home, Eric Draven. We gotta get that bird, I'll tell you what.
Oh my god. So Draven pulls up, shoots the whole place up, fine and one of the best shootout scenes in any action film. I would say it's at least top 20. It's one of the best. Grabs Skank, throws his punk ass out the damn window onto a police cruiser, runs, see more of that pulp-esque noir cinematography, jumps to Ernie Hudson's car, and then is talking to himself saying, "Yo, Shelly, I'm gonna be home soon. Finds Sarah, gives Shelly, finds Sarah, gives her Shelly's engagement ring. That's all. No. A necklace. Got her necklace.
Yeah.
Gives it to Sarah, and is like, listen, she'll protect you just like I protected you. And then, funny enough, that's where the comic actually ends. But this is a movie. We got more stuff. Top Dollar, Candyman, and Homegirl from Crank 2. I love Bai. I'm just saying. But anyway, so Mika, Candyman, and Top Dollar kidnap her. Eric senses it. They at one point attack the bird. And so when they shoot Eric, Eric's immortality is going away. His healing factor is depleting quickly. So Ernie Hudson pulls up, helps out, shoots Candyman, kills him, and in the process gets shot himself.
Yeah.
The Crow plucks Micah's eyes out and then lynches her ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an awesome sword fight on top of the church.
Classic Batman.
Yep. Top Dollar stabs Eric in the chest, and he's still alive. Yeah. And tells him, like, "Hey, listen, I'm the one who sent Tintin, Funboy, T-Bird, and Skank to attack you and your girl."
Which means he shouldn't have said that, because now his immortality is back.
Yeah. And at that moment, he's like, "Listen, like, you have my respects. You're an Avenger, and I respect that." And Eric Draven's like, "I have something for you. I don't even need it anymore." And then
he's like, by the way, I really hope that Nicolas Cage is watching the scene right here. Stare.
Look into my eyes. 20 hours of pain. 30 hours of pain.
All at once.
All for you.
And then while Top Dollar is convulging from all that pain, he ends up falling off the rooftop, gets double impaled by a gargoyle statue in such an interesting way that his blood is coming out of the gargoyle's mouth. Like, that is some really cool visuals right there.
That's like straight wrath of God. The first wave into Egypt, all the water turns into blood.
Yeah. By the way, you know what we usually do, but we haven't talked about this time around?
What's up?
Completely off tangent. The box office.
Right. Let me get that up for you real quick. So
I'll just say right now, it made back almost 4 times the amount.
So this movie. The movie itself, it cost $23 million to make. Box office results, and I think this is going for both domestic and international. This movie made back $94 million in the box office,
which is a little over 4 times. Wait, 4 times,
yeah, about 4 times, about roughly 4 times,
because 96 is 24 times 4, So for 23, you have to subtract 4, which would be 92. So yes, it made more than a little over 4 times the amount. And of course, if we subtract the cost, that means the final profit is 300%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So after the entire fight, Shelly's ghost comes to pick up Eric because he can finally rest. The Crow drops off both rings to Sarah, and the movie ends with Eric his soul finally resting, and then the final part of Sarah's epilogue. I don't remember. You remember, but
Actually, what's really funny is that right before he passes, like the three of them share a moment together where, and like what's funny is that Sarah puts a cigarette in the sergeant's mouth.
Oh, he's like, hey,
he's
don't
like,
do that. Don't kill
yeah,
me.
it's like disgusting. You know what? I'm gonna quit smoking. If I survive, that is.
Exactly.
And what's it called? And then Eric, he's like lying near Shelley's grave, and then he's greeted by Shelley's ghost, who like takes him to the other side. But one thing I really do like is that it was in this movie where like I like this one quirk where it's like wait, you put the mustard into the bun before you put the hot dog? Yeah, it tastes better that way.
Nah. Oh, like mustard first, then ketchup. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, I don't like mustard either way, but I get it. Condiments first, because like you get a better combination of the ingredients, like when your tongue tastes it, but also there's the other issue of like, honestly, if we're being honest, it's less messy that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I feel you on that. But no, and so real quick before we get to the scores and stuff, I ain't really say it. So I want to give a big shout out to Michael Wincott, who plays Top Dollar, because this guy is still acting, and obviously he's if you don't know who Michael Wincott is well known for his raspy voice. Okay, every movie, every TV show he's been part of, it's always that raspy ass voice. In fact, he was Dr. Osmond in the Ghost of the Shell movie that came out back in 2017. Well, recently he was in one of my favorite movies that did win Best Horror Film for the Dead Meat Horror Awards last year, and that was Nope. I did not. The moment I heard this voice, I'm like, yo, that guy's voice sounds familiar. And more, I'm like, is that Top Dog from Crow? Let's go! Yeah, he was also in Forsaken with Kiefer and Donald Sutherland. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Great movie.
Yeah, he was also in Diving Bell and the Butterfly. He played Scroop in Treasure Planet. He was in Along Came a Spider with Morgan Freeman. He was in Alien Resurrection as Captain Frank.
I remember that. I do remember that. Jesus Christ. But, and one more thing. Shout out to my boy, T-Bird. T-Bird was also Sully from Commando with the best death ever. And when I told you, Sully, that I kill you last, yes, make sure you did. I lied. Anyways, the movie ends with paying respects to Brandon Lee, and then cue the music. And one more person was also paid respects to Eliza something. Yeah. I can't remember. I actually have to look that up. But yeah, and that is The Crow, people. Yeah. Again, I'll go first real quick. As I said, movie was completely ahead of its time. This movie had to crawl so John Wick can run. Yeah, it was nominated for 7 awards, both at the MTV Movie Awards and the Saturn Awards collectively. It won. It only won one of those 7 nominations, which was Best Song, Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots. But the other nominations were for the MTV Movie Awards was Best Movie of the Year, Best Actor, Brandon Lee posthumously, and at the Saturn Awards, Best Horror Film, Best Director, Alex Proyas, and Best Costume Design, Ariana Phillips, and Best Special Effects to Andrew Mason. Working for International Creative Effects. And again, like I do want to go more into the culture behind it. I think a lot of people could relate to the Crow comics and movie because the background to the comics was that Obar was actually did I say his name right? I want to make sure. Obar, yeah. It's Obar. Yeah. Yeah, so Obar, like his actual fiance was killed in a DUI. Well, she was killed by a DUI. And like he was like grieving, and this was like just before he was going to be deployed
to the Marines. He was in the military, and like before he was deployed, his fiance died, and this comic was basically part of his grief. Like it's his way of dealing with the grief, and he heard a story about a man and his fiance getting killed by a gang at one point, so he incorporated that into the plot of his comic books. And I think throughout the early to mid 80s, I think there was like a lot of like pent up anger in society that especially with teenagers and early 20s people that could not have an outlet to release it. That's kind of like why grunge and metal came to existence during the 80s. Because it's an outlet because a lot of messed up things happened in the 60s and 70s and all these other crazy stuff happening in the 80s, like war on drugs and Afghanistan and whatnot. It's we need to let out our rage. Like in the 60s, we needed to let out our love. In the 80s, we needed to let out our rage. And I think the way the Crow, not only the background, but the way the Crow was written, the comics, I think it really spoke to so many people that it became a massive cult hit. That when the movie came out, it stayed a cult hit because it still spoke to people. Even if you said the 80s and 90s were two different generations, the need to vent out unrequited anger, it still lingered in the 90s. That's why 90s became more grunge and metal focus compared to 80s, which was mostly metal and punk. But and this whole need to fight against the machine and forces that are beyond our control, that, because again, being killed by DUI driver, that is beyond our control. That is not something we can control. And given the fact that I lost one of my friends back in 2014, I think I can relate to the Crow even more than I did as a kid. I liked the Crow as a kid because I liked dark superheroes in general, but having lived the experience that I have lived, both the good and the bad times and even the worst times and even the absolute worst of my times, the Crow just kind of taps into that sense of validation. People always talk about needing to feel represented and validated. Yeah. It's not, the thing is that need for representation isn't just an ethnic thing where it's where Jews need Jewish superheroes or blacks need black superheroes. Everyone needs their own kind of superheroes. Even people dealing with homelessness need heroes that tap into that subject matter. People who deal with drug problems probably need superheroes who also deal with drug problems. Case in point, Tony Stark with the killing with the devil in the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of people were dealing with things that the Crow really tapped into. And I think that's why it became such a cult hit. And the good thing about the Crow, because it's not tethered to a single human character, you could have new versions of the Crow tap into newer generations. If anything, the real issue is the issue with the sequels, why they're not as well received, is probably because there's very little continuity between the different Crow movies between one another. And the other thing is that if they're isolated stories, they showed up too soon to each other. We're it's we need a Crow when we need it, not when we want it. But exactly. The thing is, when the sequels came, they were when we needed the sequels the least. Do we need a Crow now? Sure, probably. You could say we need a Crow now. We could say we need a Crow in 2008 when housing market died out, or maybe we need a Crow in 2001. Well, we didn't need the Crow in 2001. We needed Spider-Man in 2001. But
we need a hero.
Yeah, don't go there.
I'm not. That's the only time.
Okay. I promise. But the point is, it's and we kind of discussed this in our Doctor Who review for the 50th Doctor. Like there was like this 30-minute special hosted by Colin Baker over like who is the best Doctor, and also we even had and I even referenced that when we were talking about who was the best Spider-Man. The best Doctor is every Doctor, because each Doctor is made specifically is the Doctor we need in that specific moment in time. Every Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man because that's the Spider-Man we need in that moment in time. Every Crow should be the best Crow because it's the Crow we need in that moment in time. Was that properly executed? Probably not as well.
Is
Again,
Crow Salvation any good?
I liked it. It's not as good as the first one.
Was it at least an apology for City of Angels?
I'll say this. It's more true to the themes of the series compared to City of Angels, but it also deviates from the original story in the ways it needs to. And it's like it is, I would say it's the second best of the Crow movies.
I'll take that.
But not enough. But the thing is, it didn't make enough return. The thing is, it was direct to video. That was like the biggest issue. Yeah, it was a direct to video.
I thought it had movie. I thought it had like limited theater releases.
Nope.
That's what I read.
Nope. Maybe it did, but it was mainly like not even direct to video. It was a TV movie, is what I mean by it was a TV movie, and like the ratings were not good enough to like for studios to warrant a sequel, which is kind of sad because honestly, it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty decent. I actually like Alex Corvus. He's actually like even like before he was executed by electric chair, his character was actually really likable. You really feel for this guy. And honestly, if I would say if anything, Kirsten Dunst was the weakest part of it, but it's not 100% her fault. It's just there's not too much you could do with her character.
Right.
But yeah, Kirsten Dunst was in that movie before she did Spider-Man.
Like 2 years before Spider-Man.
Yeah, like she was still blonde at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. But no, she is the obligatory Sarah of the series. Like I'll say this, like every Crow needs their own Sarah, but not all of them have their own Sarah. And the thing is, you need a really good Sarah in order to like keep them tethered to the whole like, oh, like I don't have a heart and my hands are cold, but like you still need to like feel a sense of humanity to keep fighting. I would say my most favorite Sarah archetype is literally Sarah from the TV show, but you know it is what it is.
I'll go quickly with my review. Quick. My score. I think we've given this movie enough praise.
Yeah.
It does a lot right, especially especially again, you knew nothing about the comic book. This would at least intrigue you on be like, you know what, I might want to check out the comic book. It did for me. I have still not read the comic book, but it's okay. And again, being that this was Brandon Lee's final movie, unfortunately, because of what happened, I'm pretty sure you already covered that while I was taking care of something with my son.
Well, I didn't really go into it, but we did talk about it together when we talked about Game of Death.
Oh, it's true. Okay, so never mind. We don't have to go through it again. I will give this movie maybe it's just for nostalgia purposes, or maybe because I just watched this movie like a few hours ago, and I'm like, you know what? This movie did cinematography, the dialogue, the chemistry between all the characters, the story. It is a simple. It's not super complex. It is a revenge story, but a revenge story that everyone in the generation can understand and can get behind. You come back from the dead, you want to whoop some ass on the people who wronged you. I'm for. I can't believe I'm saying this movie. JD's Revenge. JD's Revenge. You've never seen JD's Revenge, people? Watch it. But overall, maybe it's nostalgia reasons I'm giving this to it, but I don't care. I'm gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10. I don't give all our 10s out, people. This one is a 10.
I give away even fewer 10s than he does. Keep that in mind.
Like, I can tell you how many 10s I've given out by my hands, okay? But yeah, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. I really like this movie. I love this movie.
I'm curious. I kind of want to go back to all of our old Cinema Presents videos and just like try to count how many movies I gave a 10 to, because there aren't that many. Because like all of the best, because for me a 10 is a pantheon film. It's the best of the best of the best of the best. And like even if the movie like is terrible, I could still give that movie a 10 if based on how much I enjoyed it. Like depending on the film. Because like keep in mind, I gave Spider-Man a 10. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And there's like all these other like goated movies that were like, oh, they've won like 13 Academy Awards and 27 Golden Globes.
I gave Titanic a 7 out of 10. Okay?
Agreed.
I like the movie, but that movie is beyond overhyped. And honestly, it's not DiCaprio's best film. Okay.
No.
I would argue saying it's either The Departed or hell. I'm gonna piss some people off when I say this. One of DiCaprio's best films, I have 3 that come to mind.
Don't say Romeo and Juliet.
That's not The Departed. Hell no. That's our boy. What's that fool's name again? John Leguizamo's best film. It's not, but I love John Leguizamo. Okay, yo, Leguizamo's my peoples, bro. No, 3 of the best movies I can think of right now that are better than Titanic, and it's not The Departed, because I can use The Departed all day. Catch Me If You Can.
That's definitely Leo's best movie, in my opinion.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and The Wolf on Wall Street.
No, Catch Me If You Can is definitely one of his best movies because, one of my most favorite running gags is how he calls himself Barry Allen.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect, dude. Titanic, I agree with you about giving it a 7 because it's like I respect the acting, the costume, the visual effects, the score, and everything. But it's like I acknowledge all the positives from the technical standpoint, but I just did not enjoy the movie. So and there were some parts that legit weren't good. Like there were certain inconsistencies and stuff like that. So it did get a lower score. I'm sorry, that movie does not deserve a 9 from me. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of the movies that would be considered the best movies, more often than not, you would hear me giving them a 9. Highest score any movie could get is a 9, with very few exceptions, which get that added point of a full 10 in order to be in that pantheon along with Speed, The Mask, Spider-Man, Revenge of the Sith, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Goodfellas, and honestly, one of the more recent movies that joined that pantheon. You were there for me to crown it. Devil's Advocate. You were there when I inducted it to the pantheon. But with that in mind, I give this movie the highest score all other movies can get, which is a 9. Not because I hated it in any way or that there was anything wrong with it. It's not a bingeable movie for me. It's a movie I would watch maybe 3 times a year, 4 times a year, maybe 5 times a year tops. But it's not a movie I could see myself watching on a weekly basis or repeatedly, if I had to take a week off from having all 4 of my third molars removed. Yeah, that's a Zohan joke right there. But no, Zohan does not have a 10. I'm just letting you guys know that. But I'm just saying, it has to be that level of rewatchable. But no, but it does have a special place in my heart because, again, I grew up watching the TV show version of Stairway to Heaven with Mark Dacascos, and like if it wasn't for that TV show, I would not even know that the movies even existed. Just like how if Extreme Ghostbusters wasn't there, I would not even know that there were live action movies of Ghostbusters. Heck, I thought that Ernie Hudson was playing Roland when I first saw him because, like you got 3 white dudes, 1 black dude. They didn't show the chick yet, but Kylie does join later anyway, so it's like, But the point is, like, I didn't know that, Extreme Ghostbusters was a sequel. Yeah, so it's like, but no. And again, the TV show had a huge place in my heart. But like this movie, it's like, I'll watch this movie when I need it, not when I want it. That's why it's a 9 out of 10 for me. But again, everything else, perfect. Acting, perfect. Special effects, perfect. Musical score, bro. Burn is my favorite Cure song. And Cure has a lot of great songs. I don't care if Monday's Blue, Tuesday's great, and Wednesday too. But yeah, and yeah, I love Brandon Lee. I love Bruce Lee and stuff. But yeah, it's a 9 for me. But it doesn't mean it's a lesser film. It's very good movie. It's just not quite there in the pantheon. Like how Disney's Hercules, like he's not ready to be on Olympus. It's like he's a god, but he's also not a god. It's like the exact opposite of Anakin Skywalker, where like you're a master, but you're not sitting on the council. Yeah, this movie's a master. It's just not sitting on the council. Leo, you have no audio.
My bad. Let's get to the comments real quick.
Yeah.
Love the series, especially the TV show. Can't rain all the time. No, it can't.
No, it can't.
Unless you're in Seattle. Unless you're in Seattle. Kabuto has a point. Even if you remove the grunge revenge plot, it's a cool seeing the Sarge and Sarah bond over their shared grief. Yes, it is. It's like a father-daughter moment.
Yeah.
Morphine's battery. Whenever Eric says "fun boy," it sounds like you're saying, "Yeah, I know." And I love it when you guys do improv parody songs. Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, that's The Crow. Next Saturday, I'm not looking forward to this one. We're gonna be reviewing the sequel, Crow City of Angels. The only thing I am looking forward to is talking about our girl, Tree Trang, rest in peace, from Power Rangers. This was her first theatrical, because I don't know if she was in an actual movie yet before that. This is the first.
She's had a few roles online, but I think it was one of her last few performances before the tragedy in 2001. Hold on, let me see. No, it was her last performance. It was her last performance as Kali. The only thing you see after that is the only thing she has in her filmography after The Crow is Power Rangers Once and Always as archival audio. Yeah. But she was in Spy Hard though with Leslie Nielsen. So
all right, so we might be reviewing that at some point. Anyways, all right, guys, that is it for our show. Mike, Crow of LA, where do people find you?
You could find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. You find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto, where I'm gonna try to set up my rig. I think I need to replace a cable. I mean, if you could help me out with that, come over and help me out with that. That'd be great. Because like I know how much of a tech expert you are. But yeah, once I get that taken care of, you know what's coming. We got, here it is, 6 games to play through. So let's try to get it done. And maybe after I beat Mega Man, maybe all 6 Mega Man games, maybe I'll get started on Devil May Cry.
I'm going to say this quickly. Y'all can find me on Twitter, Instagram, DRex_Fox, YouTube Rex_Fox, and find me on twitch.tv/RecklessFox.
Yeah, and if you like watching this review, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We did Doctor Who month last month, and this month we're doing Crow month, where every Saturday, two of us will be going over all 4 Crow movies. So next week, City of Angels, Ash Corvin, and then the week after, Salvation, and then finally, that movie that you do not want me to watch, or rather you do want me to watch for Transformers 4 related reasons. And be sure to check out our sister channel, the Morphin Network, where we discuss tokusatsu of all major franchises. So we just finished doing 3 episodes of Ultraman this week, Ultraman Blazar. We did a batch of episodes of Kamen Rider Build on Thursday, and we're going to do another batch tomorrow's the time of this recording, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Next week, we are going back to doing Kamen Rider and Super Sentai because today they made more episodes. So we're back. We're back to our regularly scheduled program. And so be sure to ding the bell icon on that channel as well. Stay notified. And with that said, guys, if you're at ALA, be sure to stay safe and hydrated because we know how hot it gets when you're cosplaying for 3 days straight. And I know some of you guys love to after party, so make sure you party hard, but do it responsibly. And if you're not in ALA, still stay safe and hydrated. Update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones. And we will see you guys next time when we do Crow 2. I mean, it's appropriate. We're both in LA, so we're going to do City of Angels. Okay, here we go. Bye,
Jesus.
guys.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Wait, wrong outro. Wrong outro. Okay, here we go.